All right. Good morning. How is everybody doing today? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Middle of the week. Second trading day of the week. Looks like we are all set and good to go. All right. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So I'm Jarad. This is Engineering the Markets. It is July 7th, 2021. Let's take a look at what we got today. Starting off with our SPY and some of the reactions that we got from yesterday's price action. So if you were trading yesterday, you may have been aware that the market started off relatively strong in the morning session. We had sort of an open that was holding some of Friday's highs. We were seeing some potential opportunity in some big tech names, things like Apple, and specifically Amazon, which we'll get to in just a moment, making not only a new all-time high, but breaking out of a trading range that it has been in since last September. So lots of big market cap names starting off the day really, really strong. But as the session opened and as we saw a lot of our other sectors starting to fade some of the morning highs, we saw a lot of weakness inside of the overall SPY. Now, one of the big talking points from yesterday was the fact that the interest rates on 10, 20, 30 year, really doesn't matter which one, but I'll be looking at the 10 year specifically. The interest rates fell quite rapidly yesterday. Saw a huge decline in TNX, and that was facilitated by, once again, sort of a rise in bond prices. Here I'm looking at the TLT, sort of a technical breakout inside of a smaller pullback swing high setup. And what's interesting is that the TLT is following some pretty normal rules of pullbacks, specifically on trends, coming to around the daily 20 period moving average. So we're actually seeing what is a normal trend behavior, where you get these lower volume pullbacks to areas of support, and then you get larger volume on the breakouts, leading you to new swing highs. So very interesting price action in the TLT. We're seeing continued rising bond prices. That's leading to falling interest rates. And we can look at other products as well that have blends. It doesn't really matter if it's TLT or specifically looking at the bond futures, which we can take a look at in just a moment. A lot of these are sort of trading in that same expectation of a trend that is now forming. And I'll pull up just real quickly the ZB and the ZN, which are the 10 or 30 and 10 year respectively. Very similar breakout looks, although the structure is slightly different. So interest rates fell, and we had some strength in key tech, consumer discretionary, and just some general risk on type assets. For those trading yesterday, plenty of opportunity in stocks like Apple, which we talked about briefly on yesterday's session, starting to clear a very significant swing high from last September, which technically is still relevant to the price action. The fact that we are now clearing it, closing above, and so far have not seen the same sort of reaction above, where we get this sort of volatile topping action, some supply coming in, and a lot of push and pull when it comes to the volume. Instead, we are actually seeing rising momentum volume leading to this breakout, which so far has led to some nice intraday, nice swing opportunities, and just overall strength in XLK and our tech sectors in general. XLK making, once again, a new all-time high on yesterday's session, not closing at that high, but still closing at a new all-time high as well. So printing and closing both at all-time highs. We also had stocks like Amazon, which technically are not considered tech stocks in the perspective of the ETFs and other, I would say, sector indicators that we're looking at. Amazon's technically a consumer discretionary stock. Now, the catalyst for this may have been a little bit ambiguous at first until some of the news started to roll out. I made a joke in the chat room saying that I guess Jeff Bezos stepping down as CEO was seen as a positive because we're seeing Amazon break out and look to a new all-time high. But shortly thereafter, we found some news regarding the JEDI contract with regards to Microsoft and Amazon competing over this government contract. It's roughly a $10 billion contract. And this new negotiation may be sort of a new catalyst for Amazon, as Amazon was sort of the forerunner at the time of negotiations. So we'll see how that plays out. There may be some sort of split deal that's being formed. And that obviously led to additional strength in Amazon, more of a fundamental catalyst, along with the more sarcastic catalyst of the main CEO stepping down. Now, with all of that, we did see stocks like Microsoft have some volatility, little bit of sort of indecision near the highs, higher elevated volume near the highs. This may be sort of a short-term stopping zone for Microsoft in need of a decent pullback. And this is one of the topics that we'll be talking about today. The idea that the market yesterday was quite split. And while we have some names carrying us higher, these names carry a lot of market cap weight in the overall stock market. There was a lot of weakness, and depending on where you're looking, you may not have noticed this type of weakness because the market ultimately did recover into the close. We had sort of a very interesting recovery of both the NASDAQ, the SPY, and to a lesser degree, the IWM and Dow. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. So going back to our SPY, we look at our daily, we see that there is our first sort of red significant range candle. We saw a lot of price action movement yesterday. We shoot down to the 4-hour and we see that our general trend line, which we drew from the early June lows all the way to our current price, or sorry, this is a mid-June low, sorry. This is a June 20th. So this low that was set, we drew a general trend line. We said trend is your friend. We also have the 20-period moving average on the 4-hour as usually sort of a short-term guide. And in the case of these momentum moves, we have to dig into lower time frames because ultimately we don't know where to gauge these pullbacks and how to assess whether these pullbacks have some validity to them. So markets did pull down. We did react off of a previous swing high set in pre-market a couple of sessions prior. Very interesting reaction off of this swing high. And so far, it looks like we are pulling up in pre-market. So we're sort of climbing back to our previous all-time highs. Everything seems sort of rosy when you just look at the market from this perspective. When you look at the Qs, you may even say that nothing really occurred yesterday. The perspective is one of continued strength, where the QQQ continues to climb. We have some very long-term channel structure that has been built since September highs last year. And as we are rising in the Qs, this may be an area of contention to basically target. If the Qs are going to lead, and that leading is going to be perpetual until we hit some very strong sellers, then we may be looking at something much larger structurally in order for this market to correct. So far, the Qs have really not seen the same sort of pullback weakness that we saw yesterday in the SPY, most notably because of Apple, because of Amazon, and a lot of our other tech stocks, communication as well, Google and Facebook, really didn't have a lot of weakness yesterday. So if your perspective is the indexes only, what can be sort of a pro is that you average things out by market cap for the most part, and you see a market that is continuing to print new all-time highs. Gives you sort of that feel-good perspective, and ultimately kind of keeps you locked into something higher level. But the problem with this perspective is often it skews things whenever we have such divergences in this market. So shifting over to a general heat map, if we look at yesterday's price action, specifically the S&P 500, you'll note that a lot of our main bullish names are coming from those areas. We have Apple and the general information tech. We have communication services. And then I would even say that consumer discretionaries was not a strong sector. It was simply Amazon pulling its weight. Now, if you look across the board, do you see much additional strength in this market? I would argue that really there wasn't. We have a couple stocks up, a couple stocks down, and this is an end of day view, so the market did recover a lot of the selling. But during some of the deepest lows of the sell-off yesterday, the market was in a state of almost full correlation to the downside. We saw it specifically in the S&P 100, the advanced decline line of advancing stocks versus declining, roughly about 85 to 15 at some of the worst points. So where was this weakness coming from? And who is to blame? We'll start off with the additional talking point yesterday, crude oil. So if you've been joining us for a couple of sessions, you'll know that we do evaluate crude as sort of a high level marketplace. This asset class dictates some of the energy stocks that we do trade intraday. And obviously, if you're just playing crude directly, you're playing energy directly, you kind of want to get a sense of whether crude is in a more bullish trend, bearish trend, or just consolidating to maybe help some of your swing or intraday setups. As crude has been trending higher, and I've just drawn this general trend line to get a sense of some of the volatility, we've seen basically a lack of supply in terms of the selling pressure inside of the crude futures. We haven't seen a lot of reactions to the downside. Most of the buying pressure has been led by new highs day in and day out. Pullbacks have been shallow, so the trend is your friend. But the overall cautionary warning that we started to form was that crude has some very clear technical levels that it likes to respond to over the course of time. These levels were coming in the form of some previous swing highs, along with roughly $77 a barrel, which if you simply draw this line across time, you can see not only the reactions at this price level, but some of the particular sell-offs from below. Usually very strong trends into this price level are often met with very steep corrections. So while it is only the first day, we did hit that price, and the news, whatever the catalyst happened to be, was in some respects irrelevant to some of the technical analysis that was done. We had this level marked, we knew it was a target, and depending on how you respond to this, you either look for this target to be met and essentially hedge, profit take, or look for other opportunities, or you allow the reaction to occur, and at this point now you are selling into weakness. Unfortunately, this is how the game is played. You either sell into the target, into the strength of the move, or you allow the target to be met. Sometimes you get a little bit more, sometimes that target is a little bit off, but ultimately the reaction that occurs after, you are responsible for handling that change in price. So with crude reacting here, we saw a few things occur inside of the equities market. We saw energy come off quite hard. We're actually losing the 20 period and potentially losing the 50, as we do have our first close below the 50 period in quite a while. If we look at another ETF that's more indicative of oil and gas exploration, natural gas being another strong asset class as of late. This particular ETF has declined approximately 8% in the past 3 days. So as a trader, as an investor, you have to look at these moments in time and evaluate whether you're willing to take some of this downside pressure, or if you would rather be someone selling into the strength of the move, knowing that an upcoming target is coming, knowing that the market likes to inflect at these points, and using your technical analysis skills to actually help you stay in tune with some of these price movements before they happen. Ultimately, we did not know that this was going to be such a strong sell-off from the crude price. We did not know that there was going to be other sort of pressure from OPEC and other catalysts, but this was marked. We were looking at it closely, and we did see the reaction that we anticipated. So our thesis proved to be correct. We also want to note that financials came off quite strongly yesterday. Very simple reaction based off of the interest rates starting to fall. Financials like rising interest rates. They like relatively steep yield curves. And as the interest rates correct, as yield curves potentially flatten, financials have sort of less of a correlated catalyst with regards to this relationship. So financials are in sort of an odd predicament because we are sitting below our daily trend lines, or our daily trending moving averages. We saw that they were unable to reclaim them. This was the risk that we were assessing. We said we'd like to see them push through and set up the trend once again. They have failed to do so at this time. And we are seeing more selling pressure in the form of interest rates falling and financials taking the burden of that hit. We also note that the IWM very heavily weighted in the financial sector. We look at financials on yesterday's session, with the IWM being one of our weakest indexes, or just index ETFs. Financials pretty much across the board were all down on the day. This coupled with energy, which is not a small sector, but it is smaller than financials, coupled with a little bit of weakness carryover in industrials. We can look at that shortly. And the fact that healthcare was sort of a mixed bag. We also talked about the risk of some of the large market cap names like AMC. AMC did not have a strong bullish day yesterday. So all of this in combination leading to a lot of selling pressure in the Russell. And this was coupled with our Dow, which has had a nice recovery, but ultimately had sort of that sharp correction. And we can see here at the Dow Jones, less stocks to assess, still having a lot of market cap in some of our big tech names. So that did ultimately help. But there was some weakness in energy, some of the big industrial names, and then the financials that are exposed to the Dow. So moving forward, we see the marketplace is somewhat split. We have big tech, Amazon specifically, maybe a couple of other key names, really facilitating bullish behavior inside of the NASDAQ and helping some of the price action to the upside in the SPY and the Dow. But amidst all of this strength, multiple sectors across the board are showing signs of weakness. not only is this a strong rotation-based process, but we'd like to see more than just one sector leading the way, because that puts a lot of risk into that sector if it ever does decide to pull back, and specifically other sectors are not seeing money flow return to them. Ultimately, if tech falls, then the rest of the sectors need to recover. Otherwise, we will get some stronger selling inside of the SPY and the Dow. Finally, some things with gold and silver. We're still looking at this sort of counter trend move with gold and silver rising. Silver may be slightly muted overall, while the dollar is consolidating, not really seeing weakness, but also not seeing that continuation strength as of yet. So another thing to watch and just keep mind of. And ultimately, this assessment is something to bring into your intraday analysis, I think, for the next couple of days. Because yesterday, if you were looking across these sectors, you may have found some opportunity short term in things like energy, which had a reason to be short. We saw crude falling from that 77 per barrel price level. We saw very strong selling in financials, which energy tends to follow. And ultimately, a lot of stocks would have provided some great opportunities. A very common one that's traded in the room, Oxy, very significant move to the downside. Our big market cap names like CVX and XOM, both of them seeing some selling pressure. Once again, overall, still in bullish context, still trying to hold their relative trends. But the idea here is that short term, we have targets in other asset classes. Those targets have been met, and those targets are met with selling. Hence, we can take advantage of the counter trend move in our stock selection. Some other names, APA, DVN, really any energy name that you wish to take. A lot of them saw very significant downside yesterday, cracking through some previous swing lows in some cases, sort of invalidating some of the swing setups. You'll also note that some of these names are starting to form the potential for reversal structures. Something like SLB, pretty clear head and shoulders structure starting to form. If we ever start to lose this, the downside could be much worse than it is already shown. And currently, we're not trading necessarily at all-time highs or relative highs. So crude may simply be the, I guess, the straw that breaks the camel's back in some of these stock names. So ultimately, be looking at this as either a lesson or to analyze your portfolio, look at your holdings, maybe consider whether targets have been met for trades, and look to see how you can protect yourself if the downside continues. All right, so last but not least, actually, don't think I'll have enough time to cover this today. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut things a little bit early today. The topic that I wanted to cover probably is going to require a little bit longer than 10 minutes. So sounds like something we can hold off until tomorrow. But for today, and I would say for the rest of the week, looking at the SPY is obviously held up by a lot of strong momentum. This momentum has reasoning to continue with our tech names. These tech names hold so much weight in the SPY that they can carry the market by themselves at times. But during those periods, we need the other sectors to not be putting pressure to the downside. We need basically either flat to normal trading action while tech moves higher, or having all sectors move in the same direction can obviously lead to that sort of blow off top, maybe that final push that the SPY needs before we can get a significant pullback. At this time, looking at some of the structure, And as we are forming some potential swing highs on this trend, we will start to add volume profile into the mix. And let's just do the past 30 days. And we can see that as this trend has formed, market participants haven't had enough time to set up value levels of interest as the trend has formed. Basically, every single day we're moving higher. We're not testing previous points of control. For those who are familiar with market profile theory, oftentimes we leave untested POCs or sort of smaller gap structures inside of a larger momentum move. And the risk becomes the fact that these structures, if we ever see a sell-off, don't provide a lot of support to basically catch the downside pressure. We start to see the market essentially correct very quickly. We usually get some sort of V bottom or sort of liquidation break in those structures. And yesterday is a testament to how quickly that can occur. Market ultimately did recover, and at this time it is looking very V bottom-esque, but it shows that in the course of a day, we can give back a lot of that momentum move and not necessarily have market participants supporting the price. That the momentum is usually a one-time event. The sell-off usually fixes a lot of that structure, and then we get more stable, normal price action trading with support and resistance zones and a lot of, I would say, larger money participants buying at key levels and key areas based on the volume profile. Excuse me. So this market is strong. We have some tech names that are holding us up. The market can easily sort of pull back higher today. Yesterday may have just been a one-time sell event, but note the risk that's occurring in this market and see how you can find intraday or multi-day sessions where the risk is piling up so much that this downside may have additional legs. We haven't seen it yet. This is just one day of selling, but it shows how quickly it can form and how strong it can be even with our tech names moving higher. If you're looking at the Qs, you may not have really seen this perspective, but if you look at SPY, IWM, or Dow, it's a different story. So I'll go ahead and leave it there. That said, my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. Trade safe. Let's look and see what the opportunities are today, and then tomorrow we'll have a deeper discussion into some of the potential opportunities for next week. So take it easy, trade safe, stay tuned for Carlos and Norm with Pre-Market Prep.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone had an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you today?
Morning, brother. I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Let's get right to it, guys. Let's look at some of the stuff we had yesterday. We had a bit of a market sell-off, which kind of Jarad spoke about a little bit. Norm will touch it based on if you missed it early this morning for engineering the markets. But let's see what we had. We had a OCGN on our list. Let's go over to our 5 minute. And the great thing about when the market is trending heavy in one direction or the other is that you might have stocks that are not in play that will follow suit. So that's pretty nice to see, especially as we get into the summer trading. Here's OCGN, guys. Started off actually not bad, really strong in the pre-market, very active. And then here, just a nice drop off, guys. Beautiful. So many setups happening on OCGN. And I'm not a big fan of this one, but I got to say it did trade very, very well yesterday. Here's the breakdown, the 5 minute. Got a nice opening range breakdown there with a good continuation. You have a reverse ABCD pattern happening here as well. Here's your A, your B point right over here in the consolidation, and then the breakout, the nice continuation. I mean, this thing just continues to drop all the way down to 747. So that traded very well yesterday, held down to the 9 moving average and just continued. AMC yesterday was a bit of a chop at first. Definitely not in play. I know they've been, again, we like to keep an eye on them because they're very active and they can explode at any minute, but they were not in play yesterday. I mean, you could tell here they were just kind of chopping around. And then here, eventually around 11, they got into a nice groove. You could see the candles trading a lot better, connecting better here, and you can see the nice drop all the way down to 51 at first, 51.25. Nice base you had there, and then it just continues to waterfall here, guys. I mean, just look at this drop all the way down to 50. Already 1.5 this morning. We will definitely be taking a look at AMC today as well. Here's Tiger. Tiger had a nice drop, but I was watching this. It wasn't clean. This looks clean now, but it wasn't really a clean price action. So I was not a big fan of it. It did give you a beautiful drop if you got a great entry. If you was able to hold on to an entry here, that would have been a nice drop continuation all the way down to 20, guys, from like 22.75. So that was pretty nice. It does give you a bit of reversal here, back up towards the VWAP and then some, and then again slams that right back down towards the low of the day. So that was Tiger yesterday. I think Neo would have been even stronger if the SPY was not selling off. I think it pulled it down a little bit, but the tech sector was pretty strong, right? We saw Apple, we saw Neo, and some of these take off nicely. Here's Neo here popping up beautifully. It does give you an insane pullback, though, right? You don't expect this pullback all the way past the VWAP. Here's your VWAP line here, past that, and almost towards the low of the day. So, tough to kind of hold on to this and expect it to do what it does next, which is it slams up above the VWAP, goes over the high of the day, and then continues up north here. So again, just insane movement on Neo, and then gets very toppy here. No time for a double top, just slams right back down to the VWAP. And again, almost back to the low of the day here as it continues to move nicely. So this morning, not so much volume. We'll see where it's at today. DD, we're watching this one. It was very active pre-market, guys. At the market open, again, it just didn't trade as clean. I think there were other stocks that were better, but you had to be patient, right? There was some couple of breakouts here that were very nice. If you were patient on this stock, again, you had to wait for those. AMD here, guys, very choppy open. Just really every candle overlapping the previous candle. There's just not a clean setup at all in here. So later it does get a little bit better. You can see here the candles trading a little bit nicer. As you get a little push up towards the VWAP and then and up higher, rejection there on the moving average, back down below the VWAP, and then this time you get this nice little drop with volume this time all the way down towards the low of the day. So, and Apple was it's just incredibly strong at the market open, guys. Gives you this beautiful candle here, comes back. This is a big pullback, not an easy opening range breakup to take on the 5 minute, but then look at this, guys, just takes off, hits the high of the day again, and then continues. Just Apple being very, very strong all the way up to 143. We'll see. Apple's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Already they are sitting at that 143 pre-market high right on there. So again, we'll definitely be taking a look at Apple today as well. All right, with that said, let's go over to our market pulse. Norm, what do we have? What's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, brother. I mean, yesterday we had that big sell-off when the ISM data came out, and some retail info. So that dropped us, but throughout the afternoon, bought right back up. You can see that hammer forming on the daily, right back up here in this consolidation range below the 434-ish all-time high on the SPY. Qs are up 0.5% this morning. I apologize, sincerely apologize. As I mentioned yesterday, I had some monitor issues, which I didn't get a chance to fix until late yesterday. And then when I came back in, like a moron, I had kind of, I'd rigged my machine in a way so that I could have charts and stuff, but it messed up my desktop layout for DAS. Well, accidentally, I saved that layout. So when I came on this morning, I had to spend 20 minutes trying to fix things, and I'm a little bit behind. I didn't get to update this economic calendar info. Job openings 10 a.m. The big one for today are the FOMC minutes, which come out at 2 p.m. They had the meeting a couple weeks ago. We spoke about the importance on that. It was pretty substantial and had a bearing on the markets. So this is the minutes that will be released, essentially discussing, and this will describe the discussions they had while in the 2 days of meetings prior to the policy release and the Q&A press conference that Jerome Powell does. So that'll come out. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how the market reacts to that. If there's any kind of disagreement between the Fed governors and all that. So we'll see what happens. Just keep your eye open for that when it comes out at 2. Not the same thing as the FOMC, policy release that we talk so much about, but could be substantial. See what's in their heads.
Yep, absolutely. So looking forward to that. And guys, big apologies to anyone for the onboarding class yesterday. 9 minutes in, I lost power. It's just kind of crazy passing through storm, which took out my power. Lasted only really like 5 minutes. It's like the end of the world type thing here in the Northeast. A couple of trees down in the area, but no big damage. But yes, extremely sorry about that. We are good to go today for 7 p.m. Eastern time. So our onboarding class will be today at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So again, apologies for those that were there. We're having a great time, and it was very abruptly interrupted.
So. I want to add some color to a comment I just made over on YouTube. Somebody said FOMC stuff is always a lot of noise and no substance. That is 100% inaccurate, and I'm not trying to rail on you or anything. These meetings, and yes, you hope that there's nothing crazy that comes out of them or changes things, because that's what you want, nice, smooth conditions. But there have been times when FOMC meetings come out when you're in an environment that is, like we have the last year, when it's been overall slow, steady move up, and everything's cool, and that they're not changing policy. That is, like you're saying, there's nothing going on. But there will come a time when they have that meeting and they say, okay, it's time to tweak rates, it's time to change rates. It will absolutely move the markets in a big, big way. So it's not everyone, but you will have times when that happens, and a lot of it comes out in the wordings in these minutes and what they're thinking and everything else. Just look up things like taper tantrum as a cliche and stuff. Those are things that over years have caused major moves in the market.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Let's take a look here, guys. What we have this morning. Let's make some rows right on here, and let's see what we have on our gap down list is full of all the low flows that have been up over the last couple of days. So that's interesting. On our gapping up list this morning, we do have TDST, and this one here is a 2 million shares float. At the moment, they are up nicely 71%, guys. So a huge pop there. Daily is horrible, but again, we don't pay too much attention to the daily on these low flow stocks. We want to see a great pre-market action, great volume, and hopefully a catalyst is always nice. But this one here, guys, it's got some good activity. 6.1 started going very early here. Seems to be around 7 or so. Start to get some volume. We'll see. Pre-market, though, it is a little bit all over the place. We'll see if that can get better as we go. Let's see how the 5 minute looks here. Yeah, still not any better. You got a lot of, just some heavy wicks in here. We'll see. Let's see if this can settle down, but the volume is definitely there. It is definitely in play. We'll just have to see how this one's going to trade today. So DTST added to the list here of low flow of the day so far, up 72%. OPN, we've seen this before. It doesn't trade very well. Right now the volume is not great for a low flow anyway. Yes, it is up 34%, but that's just not enough for us to keep an eye on. VXRT, notice the little red high short interest here at 27%. Actually, we talked about this one before in the past. Today they are up, guys, 7.1, so that could be maybe a little squeeze coming on here. Again, looking pretty good, 581. it is not a low flow stock. So maybe a possible their daily. I recall this one because we had a couple of breakouts here. You can see that here, and I think a while back here we had an insane run. Guys, obviously this is a short squeeze in the making here because you're going from 7 to 25. So I do recall that. Let's keep possible on it. VXRT. Let's see where it goes here this morning. It's up 6%. Pre-market's looking okay, but again, the daily's a little funky here. Let's see if this is actually going to continue, if it's going to be something to look at this morning. SQBG today, they are. This is a low flow that's really all over the place. I mean, I don't like the way they move, guys. I'm gonna continue to keep them off my list. Let's take a look yesterday on how they trade. I mean, this is why. I mean, just look at how bad this was, right? I mean, hold it right away, which is not bad. You know, if you're scalping this, you can make something. You can take advantage of it. But I prefer my low flows to trade a little bit better if I'm going to be watching them. This is not it. So CLOV this morning, they are dropping down here, down 5.6. I'm sorry. They're up 5.6 this morning. Very choppy pre-market action at the moment. 1.9 million shares traded. We can put them as a possible. Again, we know they can be explosive, but at times it can also just not do anything, even with all that volume. So we'll ask CLOV here. We'll see if that does anything for us. Big C, this one here is up 5% at the moment. 105, not great volume, guys. So and daily's really, really nasty. It's just all over the place. They're not getting great volume for the most part. I'm going to keep it off the list. If it gets better, throw it back out to us. JKS today, this thing can be an animal at times. It can be a real beast. Right now, they're up 4.3, 210 on the volume. Not a great pre-market action. They're daily here, doing some madness again. This is the one that, if you guys remember, ran up nonstop for like, a month? I mean, every day in here was green, and even the days that were
ridiculous.
red.
I think it was longer than that even. It just like 2 months straight up from 20 to $90.
Yeah. It was just pure madness, guys. So again, it looks like there's some action is coming back into this stock again. Volume is slightly higher than it has been in the last couple of days, as you can see here. Could be interesting. Again, just be very careful. I'm putting it as a possible because even when it was doing that daily parabolic move there, it wasn't trading clean. So this is why a lot of us didn't really touch it. TIGR this morning, they are up 3.5 after a nice gap down yesterday. Maybe a possible continuation. We'll put it on here for that. Doesn't look great right now though, pre-market, so that's why I'm only throwing it down as a possible this morning. Here's Atos today. They are gapping up 3.7. Not great volume. We'll keep it off. Here's ALF this morning. They are 3.6, 145,000. Again, just not looking great. We'll keep it off as well. CCXI, also not a great pre-market action. Horrible daily. We'll keep this off as well. Let's take a look at what's capping down. And we have a ton of low flow stocks that have been active over the last couple of days, are down this morning. BSQR, this one, no shares for short, guys. And this is a very, very crappy low flow stock, guys. So be very, very careful. Again,
how do you really feel?
Yeah, just be careful with this one. So we'll skip on it. BLIN was very nice yesterday and the day before. Traded very clean. This morning, they are down 19%. We don't have shares for short. Unfortunately, the volume is great. Pre-market is decent. But again, you do not have any shares for short. Emrin has been just incredible, guys. We do have shares for short. I wonder how much. Let's click on this. If you double click on that S there, it'll give you the number of shares for short. But for some reason, I'm not getting it. Or is it populating somewhere that I'm not seeing it?
What's that?
The shares for short on Emrin. I was clicking on it to see if it'll come up. I don't see the. Oh, here it is, all the way to the left over there. There we go. See, 75,000. So again, that's not a lot for the stock. You know, this thing is might not be there by the time we get to the market open. But right now, dropping pretty nice, guys. Down 17%. You know what? I'm just interested to see how this is going to be moving today. So I'm going to add it on here. Down 17%. Low flow stock, guys. Very careful. CUEN this morning, not looking good. Another low flow here. We'll skip on that one. AMC is taking a bit of a hit. We're finally breaking out of this range. As you can see here, we're down 5.1, 1.8 million shares traded, and we do have shares for short on this one. I think AMC is worth taking a look at, guys. Just be very careful. This thing, if you're going to be in short on AMC and it starts going against you, this is a stock that you do not want to play around with your stop. Oh, let me see what happens, or I'm right at my stop. You know, the squeezes on this thing can be very, very brutal. You could be down 50 cents past your stop, 75 cents. in a matter of seconds. So just again, very, very careful if you're going to be doing that with AMC, if you're going to be going short. But looking good right now, guys. Very active, 1.8. Pre-market is looking great. The volume since 8 a.m. this morning has increased nicely. And you can see that right on there. So that's good. OCGN today, they are looking good, 279, dropping down here 3% this morning. This could be interesting. We'll add this on here. OCGN, very good. OSAT, low flow stock, that's not looking great. It has the volume, but everything else looks horrible. Pre-market's not great neither. And again, it did the pop, and now it's just kind of just dropping down. This is not fun when you have the low flows doing that. So we'll skip on that. If it gets better, let me know. XBEV this morning, they are 2.4 down, 442,000 shares traded. Not a whole lot going on, kind of consolidating. I don't see anything great on it. We'll take a look at NEO in a second. PLTR has a good pre-market action. PLTR here. Again, 872,000 down 2% right now. Could be interesting as they're dropping back to this level of support, maybe losing it. We'll see. PLTR, you guys know how we feel about that one already. At times it could be just brutal. Not at times, more often than not. It could be a very bad trading stock. All right, guys, not a whole lot that I like this morning so far, but that's going to change. That could change. Norm, what do you like this morning on your end?
Nothing really, man. I'll throw it to the room.
Let's do just that, and we will start here with Marvin. He's giving us ZZZZZ. That's not a ticker, but saying goes back to bed if you like anything. And then we have Fabio. He is giving us...
that or I really liked Zillow.
Yeah, exactly. Here's Apple. Apple is just insane right now, guys. So strong. Apple is definitely in play. Now that I'm thinking of Apple, let's just look at NEO while we're at it. Let's see if anything going on there. No, not so much. How about Nvidia, guys? Nvidia was great. Man, it just continues to be strong here, guys. The candles are a little funky, right? They're not as wide as we've seen in the last couple of weeks, but still, just talking about a step ladder here, heading over to that 840. Wow, madness. So Nvidia, guys, I think will be in play today. They're pre-market action. You cannot put too much weight on. They tend not to have the best pre-market action, but they still could be a decent trading stock here. Piton this morning, actually John, I think, traded that yesterday and crushed it. Here's Piton this morning, guys. And again, no volume. I don't think it's really in play. I see what you're looking at. Possible breakout on the daily. You have some kind of ABCD pattern forming here for a possible breakout, but you're just going to need more volume. So keep an eye out for that in the after the market opens. See if you get the volume heading in the right direction there. That could be nice. JAGX today, what we had going on here? More of a penny stock, guys. Very, very low price here.
Yeah, that's
JAGX.
garbage.
Yeah, the float was the float on this, and this is even worse. That the float is actually 122. That actually doesn't make it great. These large flow stocks that are this.
If I remember, if I remembered correctly, that's low float. It used to be like 20 cents or something, or not low float, but low penny stock that they want to give weed to dogs.
Oh, insane.
Jaguar Health. I think it's cannabis for pets.
To help them with depression and stuff like that?
I guess. I don't know. You just blow it to their nose.
Very nice. All right, let's go to space, guys. Space this morning. This one here, we are up 1.7, 387,000 shares traded. Again, could be something. Wasn't great yesterday, but we'll see. Space, let's throw it on here as possible as well. I like their daily. It's really all over the place. We're consolidating now. So big decision whether we're going to start pushing higher here or break down from this 44. We keep pushing up against this 44. We've been successful at holding here. Let's see what's going to happen after the market open there. All right, let's look at Plug today. Plug. No, not much going on. You know, I'm Plug pretty quiet at the moment. So again, I think we'll keep it off the list for now. Dare. Let's take a look at Dare today. Oh, Dare looks nice. What we got going on here? Lower price stock here. I believe we have looked at this before. That's a great pre-market action, guys. It's a 45 million shares flow, so it's a little bit on the higher side, not a low flow. Definitely in play. I am not going to put it on my secondary list or main list. It's a very low price stock, so I'll put it as a low flow. It is not, but just want to be careful with the number of shares I take here. So we'll put it down here for now. We'll see where it goes.
Did you just pull up that? Did you just pull up that ticker because I was mentioning blowing cannabis in a dog's face, and that's the Dare.
Oh, that's the
from the '80s. The
drugs.
What
something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. TLT guys, let's see what's going on here. Again, looking good right now, pre-market. These guys don't trade very well. That's the thing with them. Intraday trade very well, so you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Their volume is sometimes could be a little choppy at times. Um,
It's a treasury bond
it's a treasury.
ETF.
Yeah, yeah. So again, just be careful with this. If you're gonna trade it, I think there's better ones out there, guys. I don't think this is the best one, but I'll be honest. I don't know. I don't know the ticker, so just look out for that. All right, let's see. Let's see here. The DD we looked at. Did we look at? No, we looked at it for yesterday's action. But for today, I think they did have some volume this morning. DD. There's a recent IPO. Yeah, they got volume 3 million. Yeah, DD is good, guys. I'm gonna put it
Well,
as a
they've
possible.
been pulled from the apps in China now, so like
Yeah,
they're disappearing them.
yeah.
This
So
is,
again,
I mean, this is just nuts. What's going on with that?
yeah. So again, they're active. I'll put them as a possible, but again, it's just I don't know how you would trade this. We do have shits for sure on it now. How long it's gonna last, I don't know. There are short selling restrictions, so we'll have to see. All right, so DD is on there. Let me see what else. What else? All right, guys, that is what we have in our chat room. Let's take it over to. Oh no, hold on, I forgot to scroll down. AMD, AMD, AMD. Let's take a look here. Uh, AMD is kind of stalling a little bit now. It's kind of moving sideways here. Still, I think a stock like Apple that you can watch. Daily's amazing. I think we might hopefully get a breakout out of this soon. I'm surprised we didn't yesterday with how strong the tech sector seemed to have been. But we'll throw AMD here as a possible. P-Town we looked at, guys. VXRT's popping. We have VXRT here. Actually, yeah, we have that one already, so that's good. COOV, we did have that one. CCL. You know what? CCL, it's not what it used to be, man. It doesn't trade the way we are used to seeing CCL. But I love the daily you're looking at here, guys, for a possible breakdown. Let's see what happens on it. Volume is extremely light, so I won't put CCL unless they have an incredible volume in the pre-market. Let's see what it did yesterday. Yesterday did give you a drop, but again, a lot of stuff dropped yesterday like this. But man, their drop was very aggressive yesterday, so maybe it could be something. We'll see. Let's put it on here as a possible. I know I got a huge possibles list. I know it's not like that like this morning, but we'll fine tune this. We'll find six. All right, let's stop here. Let's go over to our community on YouTube. What do we have here, guys? Space. We looked at Amazon. Again, it's just Amazon is the mortgage stock here. I really don't trade this one. But yeah, they're very active this
It
morning.
was a hell of a day yesterday.
Oh, no, it's yesterday. Yeah, I thought it was a pre-market. Hell of a day yesterday. So let's get that pop going. What from 350, 3040 to about 3,676. Not many times do we say prices that high in this show. So incredible there. Let's see where it goes. But again, not really a best intraday trading stock. Space we have a DTSD is on here, I believe. Low float, yes, that's on there already, so that's good. DTSD again, yes, we have that. All right, good. We have the same thing here. There, we added on here as well. Yep, there is good. All right, guys, so I think we're good. Coin. So, guys, over on YouTube, if you see the ticker here, that means we already have it. So, we'll be looking at it again a little bit closely. CPOP and coin first, and then let's look at CPOP. All right, here's coin. Up 2.1. Again, not doing anything spectacular. And if they're not doing anything spectacular, they're a horrible intraday trading stock anyway. So I don't see anything great to keep it on our list right now. Here's Nike this morning. There again, another horrible day trading stock as well. And I don't see anything great. Nicely that they had this pop here and been able to hold and actually moving higher. That's pretty nice for investors there. But again, I don't see anything great there. Microsoft. No, hold on. CPOP. Did I skip that one? CPOP this morning is definitely not popping. They're up 9.6, but their pre-market action is not looking any good. Any good here. Recent IPO looks like only 4 days out. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one, guys. It looks pretty choppy right now. Yesterday was not great. You just had one initial drop here. The rest of the time you're moving sideways. So yeah, I'll skip on that one. Microsoft. I don't like to trade Microsoft as much. I'd rather watch Apple or Nvidia or any of those other ones. But Microsoft, as Apple, has been also very strong. More like Nvidia, guys. Nvidia is doing the same exact thing here. So you can watch Microsoft, but I'm going to watch. I'll keep an eye on Apple this morning for my tech stock. MU today. Volume is very light on MU. I don't think they're really in play, guys. So I'm going to skip on that one. heading on down. WB, SQ. Let's look at WB. Didn't we see this day? This is the one that oh yeah, this
Weibo, yeah. This
yeah,
is
yeah.
the one that there was a rumor of a buyout that
Hmm.
was quickly just squashed, and who
Yep.
knows, man.
Look at this,
Not
guys.
worth it.
Just
Not
everything
worth it.
just happened in the pre-market action. I mean, I'm sure people got destroyed right here because this happened in a matter of it was just seconds, not even minutes. This happens really fast. Then you got another pullback here and again slams down. I mean, just stay away from this. And today looks horrible anyway, even worse. Let's take a look at SQ right now. SQ this morning. What do we have here? SQ, and let's push this over. Here we go. Not much volume. I do like their daily though. I see what you're looking at. This has an amazing consolidation happening right now. We're pushing up towards the top of this consolidation on the daily. That could be very, very nice on SQ. Just no volume, right? So again, another possible to add on here. We'll fine tune this possibles list, but the volume is just not there, which is for SQ is not too bad. I seen them move pretty good with no volume in the pre-market, so that's okay. We do have AMD, that's good. ATHA, I don't think this one trades very good. ATHA, let's take a look here. If I remember correctly, ATHA, yeah, this is not good. All right, last one here, Otis this morning, Otis. No, guys, no volume here. It just doesn't look good, and even when it does trade, well, it looks very, very choppy. This day looks not good, so we'll skip on that. All right, so that is what we have, guys. Let's take
Any company that's 170 years old probably isn't going to be a good day trader in stock.
yeah,
Just as a heads up.
yep, agree. Is that how old this thing is? I don't even know.
At the elevators.
Oh, of course, we see that thing in New York all the time.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, guys, let's stop here. Let's go over to our community announcements and events. We'll come back and fine tune this possibles list. That's what it looks like right now. All possibles.
All right, guys. Eamon's webinar should be posted soon. And then next Tuesday night, the normal time, 8 p.m. Eastern, you're going to be talking about reading level 2 with Thor. Looking forward to that one, brother. Tonight, The Wisdom of Mark Douglas by Dr. Kenneth Reed. He's going to be talking about the late, great Mark Douglas, great trading psychology author, and what we can gain from his work. If you want to participate in the member trade of the day, trade of the week, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day with entries and exits. Add any commentary you can to describe the trade. Post it on Twitter, tagging at Bearable Traders at MikeB_BBT and at NormBBT. Also use hashtags BBT Family. Day trading and stock market. We'll pick the best one for each day and announce it in the afternoon on Twitter and in the room. All the trades of the day are then eligible for trade of the week, which is voted on by the team over the weekend and announced on Monday. If you are watching on YouTube, haven't been in the chat, use the promo code PREMARKET24. It'll get you a discount off the intro membership, which is 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room. Also gives you access to the onboarding classes and tech classes that we do every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Doesn't auto-renew or turn into any other kind of membership. And for a few more days, I think till the end of this week, we've got the annual Elite membership discount code Fireworks40 working for 40% off the annual Elite membership.
All right, thank you very much, Norm. Just 1 second, guys. Got to respond to this here.
What's that?
Just asking the mods here if we are. What are we doing with after?
Gotcha.
This
YouTube.
Yep. All right, guys. Let's get to it. Let's hop on here and Zoom. Someone mentioned Zoom. Their daily looks good. Yes, I agree. Their daily has been very, very strong. I just zoomed back and I was looking at zoom back. I was looking at this here, how this company has again just gone insane with obviously the COVID pandemic here. So I don't think they'll come back. I think they'll stay here. I think a lot of people that did not know about Zoom now know about it, and I think it's going to be used for many reasons now that people were not aware of before. So incredible, guys. This thing was sitting over at what was it, $180, if that, $85 now at 405. Just insane. Yeah, so yes, I agree with you. The daily looks great. I just don't think the pre-market is at the moment. Also, this is a ticker that's very difficult to trade, and here's the reason why. They don't get great volume, guys. Their volume is very, very light. So for the way we trade, that price action is so important that if you don't have volume, that price action could be a little bit all over the place. All right, guys, let's get to it. Our list this morning, we're going to start with our possibles list because we have a ton of on there. CLOV this morning, we have just a chop fest happening right now in the pre-market, guys. I mean, it's just all over the place, but they're pushing, again, like always, good volume. So I think it's worth taking keeping them here and seeing if that volume can break out one way or the other. VXRT has a nice pop. They're up 5.8 right now, 6%. With 853, that could be interesting. Let's see. This stock has squeezed up before pretty nice. They have a relative high short interest, 27 on IT, on Trade Ideas. So we'll see what happens there. JKS, their daily looks amazing. Possible breakout. We'll see. TIGR, I'm going to remove this one. I don't see anything great on it right now. Again, they're up 3.4. Decent volume, but doesn't look good, so we'll get rid of it. PLTR could be a hit or miss. I like this drop here. We lost this area over at 24.50, and now we're slamming against another great area of support right on here around 24. Right, that whole dollar number has been a great area of support in the past, and if we do drop below that, we can drop lower. So I think I like PLTR today. Hopefully, it does not let us down. I am going to move it up to a main
Just
one
be
this
aware.
morning.
Just be aware of how it moves if you hadn't traded it
Yes.
before. It jerks around.
Yeah.
Hey, so I've solved the YouTube problems taken
Yes.
care of. We're going to continue the live stream on YouTube for a little bit after the open. Sorry we couldn't do it yesterday. We didn't realize there was going to be a bandwidth issue with Andrew and all that. But today, Andrew is not trading. You're going to get to trade with Thor and Brian.
Yes, perfect. All right, guys, hit that thumbs up for Thor and Brian joining us after the pre-market show for live trading. So thank you guys for that. All right, PLTR is good. We'll keep it on here. Just again, be mindful of that stock. SQ, good possible, great daily, not a great pre-market action just yet. CCL starting to pick up here, continues to drop. I think we'll keep CCL. AMD. AMD is a great possible. It could be explosive. DD, you know what? I don't know about DD, man. I'm just gonna get rid of it. It has great volume. It's pushing around 3.2 million shares traded. I'm just not a fan of the way that thing moves. All right, what else we have? AMD, Space. What about Space? Space looking any good today? Space right now, so it's okay. JKS. I think this is it, guys. I think I only have 4 for today. I have AMC, OCGN at the moment. Apple is looking great, probably one of the best looking ones today. And when we have PLTR looking better than a lot of these, that's scary, right? So we'll do that. All right, let's do some levels here. And we can always add and take off later as things progress here in the pre-market. All right, here we go. AMC, low of the pre-market right now as we're losing this area consolidation, as we mentioned earlier, 47.10. So we'll throw a level there. As you can see, we lost this over here around 55 the last 2 days, and their bigger consolidation is down at 50. So now we're losing that as well. So we'll see where this goes. So 47.10 low of the pre-market. If we were to lose that, the next best level on the daily is going to be 42.16, and then below that 39.92. Now towards the top, guys, you do not need to add anything. We've been consolidating in here for a very, very long time. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days are doing a very good job there, and you also have your previous day close on there as well. So looks like the fun kind of heading down a little bit here on AMC. We'll see what it does. We do have shares for short, but I remind you again, be very careful with this, guys. If you are taking this short and you get caught, with it going the other direction, stop out immediately. Do not play around with this one because it can squeeze very aggressively and it might not come back, right? OCGN, let's get rid of some older levels. Low of the pre-market today, sitting at 730. Below that, we do have an area, clear area right here at 630. That's very clean. In between here, we got a possible. It's more of a minor level of support resistance. I wouldn't add too much weight on it, 677, but I want to have something in between here because obviously 630 is a very far level, if we're going to drop from 7. So we'll see where that goes. Then towards the top, guys, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. It doesn't look great, but it has potential, right? We'll see. This is more of a possible as well. Again, I don't like much today, so we'll keep it on there just because we have the space. Apple, I think our levels from from yesterday are still very good. So 141 we can remove because this is basically now the previous day close. I think that was our pre-market high at that time. We can mark down the low of the pre-market over at 142.41. So we'll throw that there. And then we have 144.35. Our pre-market high is being built now. So we'll wait for that to kind of continue there. Actually, no. Let's refresh and start this again. Let's get rid of all these levels because now our highs and lows from the last two trading days are also overlapping levels we already had. So you're all set down there, guys. All you need here is your pre-market low over at 142.41. That's it. And then towards the top, we already know our recent high here is going to be over, what is this, 145.09. And you have another one right on here at 144. So that's what we have right now. I'm not going to mark the pre-market high unless we start pulling back here, which I think we are. All right, we'll mark it there, 143.45. Is our pre-market high right now. So we do a small pullback towards the bottom here. All right, so that's Apple, guys, looking very good. Great pre-market action, great volume, 1.1 million shares traded so far. That looks amazing. Here's POTR. I like the drop on POTR this morning. We're dropping down to 24 is the low of the pre-market. We're kind of getting a little bit of a bounce here. Towards the top, guys, highs and lows from the last two trading days, and also pre-market high at 24.60. So we'll throw a level there. If we were to come back down and test this pre-market low, which, by the way, look at the support and the levels you have here on this 24.04, right? A lot of touches on there. It's going to be 23.48, and then all the way down here over at 23 for PLTR. So that is what you have there, and that is my list so far, guys. We'll come back to my list. Let's see if the moderators, what they have. Maybe I'll get some ideas from their list. And since we have time, we'll look at it here in the chart. So let's start with Mike. Let's see here. So Mike is looking at Apple, which we have already. He's also looking at NVIDIA, so let's take a look at that. NVIDIA looks good, guys. Definitely in play. Very, very nice there. Facebook is another one that he has on his list. So Mike has Apple, NVIDIA, and Facebook. Facebook's daily. This looks very nice. Again, this looks very interesting. We'll put on here Facebook this morning. Let's see. We'll do some levels for that. We'll be ready for that as well. All right, heading on down, we do have Thor, Apple, which we have Space. Space is down here on our possibles list. AMD we have as well. Secondary list, CCL, AMC, and SPY. So AMC is on here. We do have that one very active. We do have Space as well. Let's take a look at how that's trading now. It's getting very nice. Dropping here now. Volume is picking up. So Space is interesting. Maybe we'll move that up to a main list this morning. Tiffany's looking at Apple, AMD, and AMC we have on our list. VXRT, we have also NEO, AMD, and Apple. Let's take a look at NEO. So very similar list so far from our moderators. I like NEO, guys. I mean, NEO is a stock that it can be so great at times. So we'll throw NEO on there as a possible for now. Jared's looking at AMC, Apple, AMD, NEO. We have those. And he's still looking at some Bitcoin stuff just in case. Peter's watching AAPI. Let's take a look at that. We haven't seen that one yet. AAPI. Or did you mean Apple? You probably meant Apple because AAPI is not coming up. AMD, Facebook, CLOV, which you have, Space, and Dare. So all of those we have on our list. All right, there. Yes, he meant Apple. We just corrected that there. So we are set. All right, so we're watching pretty similar stuff. OCGN, nobody had OCGN on their list except me. I'm gonna take it off because that's confirmation this thing is crap. So let's get rid of it. Let me see here. Amen is coming in. American Airlines, AAL, CGC, mRNA, secondary list, Zoom, Piton, and Apple on his list. So that's pretty good there. All right, so we took off OCGN, NEO, SQ. Again, I think SQ, guys, looks great on the daily, but outside of that, their volume is just so light. I mean, I know that could be normal, but I'm going to take it off either way. CCL is starting to pick up, guys. This thing is starting to, if it drops here, I think we're going to get some good movement. I think I'm going to move CCL up. Maybe today's the day where they do some stuff here. So CCL towards the bottom there. Low of the pre-market is sitting at, well, it's being created now. So let's let that settle in there. But if we go here to the daily, we got a couple of levels. We have one here at 24.34, great area of support. And then above that, we do have 24.70. So another great level there as well towards the bottom. Towards the top, you have the highs and lows of the last two trading days. Look at these areas of support and resistance you're getting right here. This is your highs from 2 days ago and your lows as well right on this. So you can see how this stock has bounced pretty nicely off these two levels there, right? So the few times that we have gone below this range, we have picked up pretty nicely, right? See that there, see that there, see that here. Let's see. We're dropping down now again. Are we going to find support or are we gonna crash down a little bit here? So CCL looking pretty good there. We got some levels already in there for us this morning. All right, and what else? NEO, so that's NEO is okay. CCL, we moved up. Let's remove it from here. AMD this morning, you know, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's add AMD because I think AMD wants 100, man. I think that they really want to get there. This daily looks amazing. They continue. Again, they're not pushing much higher than they were, you know, the last couple of days, but they continue to do higher lows here. So again, that is a very, very good sign. Let's do some new levels here. Right now, you have the highs from the last 2 trading days, creating a nice area of resistance here. That is also pretty close to your pre-market high over at 95.17. We'll throw a level there. And then towards the bottom, low of the pre-market at 94.13 at the moment. So we'll do that there. And then over to the left, I think we're hitting some levels here on the top side. Yes, we are. This one right over here is going to be 96.30. And then obviously this one here over these couple of 3-4 days there, and then your all-time high over at a 99.23. So we're set there on a AMD. I think it's looking pretty good. I'm going to add it to my main list, guys. I know they're pretty quiet compared to what we've seen in the past pre-market activity, but again, this daily just looks incredible at the moment. So, all right, I think we're pretty much set, guys. That is our watch list for today. Any questions? Any comments? Concerns? How can we take advantage of these 6 minutes we have left before we go to Brian and Thor this morning? If you haven't done so already, as we get ready for the market open, please hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. Consider subscribing if it's your first time here. We're doing this live every Monday through Friday when the market is open. So ATAT, is that a ticker? ATAT? Oh, potential IPO. Okay, gotcha. All right, I see Peter put that up there as well. Okay, very good. All right, anything else? Any other stuff you guys like this morning that we can take a look at? I got a few over on YouTube. Neo for long, Space, Baidu. Let's look at Baidu, see what we have going on with Baidu this morning. Baidu, what we got going on? Nice big drop yesterday on Baidu. A little bit of recovery today, up 1.1. We'll see where it goes. Again, Baidu is for me, it's a difficult stock to trade, but I've seen you guys just crush it on there. But again, I prefer to stay away from it. All right, anything else? I think my camera just froze. Not sure why, but all right, what else we have, guys? There on volume. Oh yes, our low flow stocks. We have there here with 37 million now. This thing is is pushing nicely here, so that is definitely in play. Emrin this morning crashing down a little bit here. I do like the volume on it, so let's keep a close eye on it. And we also have DT ST, which is again pushing up pretty nicely here. They've been just stuck between $6, and now they're just crushing it here. But be careful, it doesn't look as clean. You got a couple of candles here that are not so nice. When more volume comes in, hopefully that cleans up a little bit. Spread is good at the moment. Again, they're up 76%. And with 9 million shares traded right now. I look very reflective and peaceful in a frozen camera, Buddha-like. Let's see. Snap was decent yesterday, right? I saw you guys calling out Snap. What do we have here? Oh no, it wasn't great at all. I didn't look at it, but I saw you guys calling it out. Thought it would look better, but ooh, that is brutal. This is what I don't like about Snap sometimes, man. Oh. That is tough. I mean, yeah. Yep. All right, so Snap is okay. Well, not okay for today. NEGG, what is this? Insane daily here. Pre-market action, very quiet at the moment. What's the float on this? What is this? Neg. What is this? Oh, this is new. Oh, okay. New. Yeah, this website's nice for electronics. All right, what do we have here? We had an insane breakout. Seems like yesterday. Doesn't seem great though right now. How was it? Oh, the market open was horrible. So yeah, just be careful with it. I don't think this is a good intraday trading stock. I've never seen this stock before, so just be careful with that. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, guys, we are all set to go. Brian and Thor are up next. do not leave over on YouTube. We're gonna wait for them to connect. We'll get their cameras up and ready. We'll transition. It takes us a little bit to do that, and then once we do that, we can go live over on YouTube. Just remember, it is delay a little bit. So if you're trying to follow, which is not a good idea to begin with, you have to learn to trade on your own. That's very important. Don't just follow anyone. It'll work for a while, and then it'll just stop working because you have no idea what you're doing when you're following someone. So be very mindful of that. Good morning, Brian. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Carlos. Good morning, everybody. Doing okay. Doing good.
All right, excellent.
Yeah. Everything's looking, almost everything's coming up green today.
Yeah, yep.
Wow, TLT is up again, which means bond yields are dropping for another day. I'm sure Jarad probably covered that in engineering the markets. So I'm not 100% committed to my watch list yet. The Qs are climbing. IWM, small caps still are still looking red. Now that's because the small cap, the IWM index, does have a lot of financials in it. So when interest rates drop, it's never good for financials. So it's hitting the obviously hitting the financial sector. XLF is down this morning. So is XLE. Interesting. Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Brian. What's going on, brother?
Well, just trying to figure out where I want to play this morning. Looks like you guys had a great time in NYC, and then you went on to Washington, DC.
Yeah, we made the most out of it. We had an absolute blast. And hello to everybody out there, BBT chat family. Thanks again, everybody, for coming out to the birthday bash in NYC. That was memorable, is the only thing I could say. It was pretty much the most fun I've had probably in like a 12-hour period in my life. It was amazing. So really great having everybody there. I got back in at about 2 o'clock this morning and then spent 2 hours with my kids hanging out because they all woke up and were excited that mom and dad were home. So we're going to do a little groggy trading. Let's do this.
Groggy trading. All right. Nothing better.
Rocking some coffee, so I'm ready to go. Actually, one of the traders at the meetup brought me some fresh ground coffee from his shop, and I must say, amazing.
Cool. Another trader with a coffee shop. Like that.
So I'm like watching SPY and tech and everything like that, and it looks like we've kind of had this morning squeeze. It's kind of breaking to the top of like a lot of the ranges here, but we left a lot of liquidity behind. So like stocks like Apple and stuff, there's just tons of liquidity back at like 143, 142, 141. So I feel like if we make a low here, we're probably going to drop a little bit more. And I've actually already got a short going from about 143.55 or 143.51 to see if we break back down here towards R3. If it springs back up, I'm going to get out of it. But I really like the way the level 2 looks for maybe just a little bit of a sell-off back towards VWAP. Might be like a falling angel type situation if it drops down. But if it gets going, it could just peel. So we'll see what happens there. And then I'm liking Space, actually. Space had this crazy day 2 sessions ago, and then a huge volume bar yesterday, about half the distance of that prior or weekly bar, I mean. So looking at the weekly. So I'm looking to see if we hold here and press or if that was like the move, and now we're going to profit take. So still some interesting stuff to watch.
Yeah, I was looking at Space too. I didn't make my watch list, but I'm still I'm still not quite ready to lock in stuff, and I am still thinking about space as well.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Space gets
about
a little
space.
wild. That's the problem with space.
Yeah,
It can go from being a really nice, tame 1 to 3 cent spread stock, and then all of a sudden just go 20 cent spread on you and just get really weird. Darth. No one can hear you scream in space.
this is true. CCL is kind of looking interesting as a rising devil trade. I don't know. Was there some
Yeah,
news out at the
I'm
moment?
keeping an eye on
This
that too.
morning?
Well, CCL is still suffering off of its stock offering, I think. I
Right.
think that's still dragging it back down to the bottom of this big like weekly range. And it seems to always buy up out of here, like around $24, let's say. CCL always seems to buy up out of here. But the ladder on the level 2 to the top side is loaded. So I'm wondering if maybe we have like a rising devil, like you're saying, but kind of over squeeze like it did maybe a couple days
Right.
ago, if you remember. I think it was like
Yeah.
Wednesday or Tuesday of last week. We were looking at it for rising devil. It went like $1 past VWAP.
Yeah.
And then sold off. But it looks like it might do something like that again, like maybe get a
Yeah.
little squeeze back into VWAP, just keep on going for a little bit.
Right. You do have a lot of shares on the ask at 2502. Hmm. Yeah, this is it's gonna be interesting to see what goes this morning. Neo is kind of selling off here. Space. Emrin's rolling over. Just big spread on Emrin. In relative terms.
Mm. We still got 10 minutes. How was the trading yesterday, Brian? I missed.
It was
I decided to
okay.
actually take a day off.
Yeah, no, it was okay. Had a couple of had a nice short on the open with TAL. Got a quick scalp on Blinn, I think it was. Maybe not. I can't remember. But yeah, other than that, no, I think Blinn and Emeren were a little bit erratic. I think Andrew was trying to trade them. I kind of stayed away from them. Neo's gone red on the day. I think some of these Chinese stocks are going to continue to be under pressure. DD's down again today. I think it was maybe it was DD I played. I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, I think these Chinese stocks are still probably still gonna be under a bit of pressure here. So yeah. SPY's picking back up a bit here, eh? Coming back up to the VWAP. XPEV is that was one of the things that I noticed. The Chinese car companies were sort of made their way back up into the green when a lot of the other like the Chinese internet stocks like Baba and Billy were going red. People still seem to like the EV stocks. It's funny, Neo's going one way, going down, and XPEV's going up. It's going the other way.
Oh, does it, Lou? XBEV debuts on the Hong Kong exchange today.
Okay.
Well, that's going to make it at least a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw
Leaves
that
up
on my
one.
secondary just to kind of glance at that after a few minutes into the open, see what happens with it.
So yeah,
It
so
looks
you've
like
got,
it's getting stuffed on the weekly. So I don't know what's going
yeah,
on there.
I think you've probably got some cross currents going on here. You've got this
Mm.
listing news, but then on the other hand, you've still got um, this pressure on it from the government, Chinese government. I think Apple's still looking. It's probably going to go to 145 today. AMD,
Yeah, there's definitely some space, some distance up there. I went
yeah.
ahead and cut my position on it at break even. Actually, about 5 cent profit, so I made like $20. Go Apple! But I went ahead and cut that this morning, so I'm gonna. It's too tight for me to open here. I'll just probably get caught in whatever squeeze happens. So if it resets and then makes a new low below like 143.40, I may take it back down. But for now, I'm gonna get out of it. Let this puppy open.
Yeah, I find that just a general pattern. Sometimes if you see a stock fading a little bit in the last sort of from 9 o'clock sort of into 9:20, sometimes they'll often sort of squeeze it back up. So it looks like it's weak, and then in the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it'll start to come back up again.
Yeah.
Sometimes that'll happen. All right. Well, I'm sort of narrowing things down here. DTST is looking interesting. What's what is the float on that one? Float's 2 million. Yeah. So you just have to be careful with that. You've got OPNT. That's another one that's got a low float, 3.9 million. Call it 4. VXRT popping up again today. There's our buddy Elf and Clove is there. Some of the Wall Street Bet stuff. All right. Yeah, Apple's looking spicy.
It is looking spicy. Just wondering if it's going to slam back down a VWAP, though, before it takes off and runs for 145.
That's what I'm thinking too.
A little rising devil action. And I mean, I think you're right. I mean, it's looking fun. It wants to
Yeah,
go.
it definitely looks
Spicy.
interesting. Spicy.
Mm-hmm. Spread's starting to get a little wild on Apple right now too. Keep that in mind at the open with this thing. There's a couple spots on the ladder where the spread actually breaks a dime, so we got to keep an eye on that. It could actually get a little wild, which is uncharacteristic for Apple. Apple's normally a pretty steady trader. Haha.
Yeah, I'm watching Neo too. Neo CCL, DTST. Apple, obviously. Well, Baba just went red. That's interesting. I think the Chinese stocks are definitely going to be under some pressure here at the open. Space is looking a little weak. Okay, and CCL, I'm going to kind of keep an eye on. Space is starting to get weak as well. We'll watch for a bit of a
2 minute
pop on.
warning, folks.
Yeah, watch for a bit of a pop on Neo at the open. DTST's
My
not
gut
really
says we're
doing
still
much
going
of
down
any.
on this thing, Mark, but who knows?
On what?
Apple, it's looks springy, like it wants to pop out, but the level 2
Yeah.
is reading weak right now. So I'm gonna have to hang and see how it. You still holding? Good. If the market goes a little weak, CCL might have a solid like rising devil squeeze back up into the 25 somewhere and then start fading again. But it's been accumulating in this area for a really long time. 20 seconds, folks. Remember, opportunities all day. No need to rush.
Mm-hmm.
And we're open.
You're watching Neo. XPEV's popping. Shorted some Neo at 40 or 50, 45. AMD's popping. Okay, still short some Neo here.
I'm long some CCL from a pre-market low like 24.78. Going to see if we pop up. Never mind. I'm out. Break even.
Yeah, I was going to say, looks like a rising devil to me.
Oh, it bought up off of the low. Really, really good. Oh,
Yeah, well, maybe it's going to pop.
it's got a really, really well-developed ladder to the top side. Like if this pops and it wants to, it'll go.
It's going to cover some Neo at 50.32. I'm not sure where it's going to go here. I think it's going to drop, but I'm just waiting. Baba's dropping. Space is dropping. I'll stop out in Neo at the rest at 50.50 area, just underneath it probably. Hopefully we get a flush here. Looks like Apple's dropping. Ooh, look at Apple drop.
Yeah, SPY's drawing down a bit.
Qs are dropping hard. Here we go with Neo. That's it. Oh, yes. Okay. Covering some here, just at 50. CCL is looking like it wants to break out here.
All right. I'm buying that breakout.
On what?
If it
On
stuffs, if it's
CCL,
on
nice.
CCL,
Yeah,
if it stuffs, I'm out.
yeah. I'm long some CCL too. Here we go. Here we go, Neil. Come on down. Come on down. Oh yes.
There we go. A little bit of a move there on CCL.
Yeah, yeah. Nice one. It's covering some more there at 84, 49.84.
Ladder still looks really good on CCL.
Yeah.
Still holding. All right, first partial CCL selling 15 or 25%. Dropping another 10.
Okay, covering some more Neo here at 49.50, 49.70. Sorry. Down to about a
There we go.
quarter size now.
Already got a couple R rocking. Let's do this.
Still keeping an eye on Apple here just to see what it does. Maybe more downside here. Space is dropping.
Partial CCL.
Nice move on CCL. I was almost considering playing that as a Rising Devil. Okay, 49.50 is the next target for. Here we go. Didn't get a fill. Come on. Okay. It's an S2. There's an S2 there on a Neo. VXRT is in play. Huh.
SPY really ripping after that early sell-off.
Yeah. Took a bit
Low
of a
volume
long
though,
on.
pushing up in these dailies.
Took a long on Apple. 142.80. Here we go. Filled on Neo. Classic Rising Devil trade. So I'm pretty much out of Neo. I am out of Neo. That was the last bit. Space is continuing to sell off here. Okay, so now I have some Apple. It's back at
That's
the
a real nice
VWAP.
drop on space.
I'll peel half. Maybe not. I was thinking I was going to take half off here on Apple.
Ladder still looks great on CCL to the top. All right, partial 25. We're at 3R. Yay.
Nice.
That's my day.
Nice, man.
Let's hear it for
Taking
Groggy.
it.
Whoop, whoop.
For groggy trading. Yeah, CCL, the volume's picking up on it. Had a bit of a spike at the open, and now the volume's keeps coming up on it.
Yeah, the level 2 looks great to the top side. So especially if the SPY keeps going, I think CCL's been dropping for quite a while now off of that the news on the stock offering. So maybe if I'm somewhere near the bottom on this thing, that'd be pretty fantastic. If not, great partials. So we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter now.
Yeah, just took half off of Apple at 140 or 143.30. XPEV looks like it wants to go. Looks like, and Neo looks like it's maybe put in a bottom here.
I was looking at XPEV at 43.20, sitting right above the moving average, and I was just thinking, man, this just looks like a beautiful spot to buy long. I didn't have the
Yeah.
ability to pull the trigger on such a tight stop with XPEV. It would have been amazing. Oh well.
Yeah.
The ladder on XPEV looks great to the top side. I think this thing's gonna start ripping.
Yeah, I think it's going to go too here.
I mean, it was at all the way at like 47.50 only a few days ago, so it's not like it
Yeah.
doesn't have the ATR.
I'm taking a little bit of a long here, see if we can get through 44 on XPEV. $44 is actually we're stalled out at S1 right now on XPEV, but 44, just over 44 is yesterday's close.
Be right back.
Okay. Rock on. All right. Hopefully some of you guys caught that Neo short at the open. Nice rising devil trade. Nice. Yeah, one and done, eh? That's all you need. Just one good trade.
I'm watching AMC now for a possible long here. It did this really nice sell-off through some good liquidity at 46 to 45.50. Now making a new 5-minute high. Or, working on it at least.
Yeah, look at Neo come back up. Dang, damn it. Space. All right, here we go. Apple. Yes. Back up to close to the high of the pre-market. I'm going to peel off another quarter here on Apple. Still holding some XPEV, although it's not getting a nice. Like to see a bit of a cleaner move there. CCL is your CCL's kind of giving up the ghost.
Yeah, I was only down to a trailing position. If it drops much longer, I'm just gonna cut it and thank it for its time.
Here we go, XPEV. We're getting close to
Yeah, I'm about to
44.
rest.
Yeah, getting close to 44. Here we go.
All right, no setup on AMC. It made a new 5-minute low instead, so it's just going to keep on going. Large liquidity at 45, so I'm going to get away from that one for a minute.
Just going to peel a little XPEV off here, just lighten up a bit. Wow, CCL is now taking a bit of a punt here.
Just had a real big sell candle on the SPY in the last minute. Back into VWAP. Be interesting to see what we do here. The sell candle was on really light volume for the amount of distance it traveled, so it might just be pulling back down to VWAP for a bidder before it bounces again. But definitely something to watch.
Here we go. Apple, new high. XBEV still waiting for 44 here. There we go. Now we're going to get there. Gonna sell some Apple here, just because we're at a high of, seem to be at the high of the open here. All right, there goes XBEV, filled through 44. Kachingo. See, we got a lot of people trading some different things here. Squares popping up here today.
I'm back long CCL.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped out, grabbed it back long at 24.92. So just pop back up to VWAP. If it stuffs, I'll get out. But looks nice.
Yeah, it's trading right at the yesterday's close right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It seems like the CCL could turn into one of those choppers around this level. Man,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's an ugly daily on CCL. Jeez, it's just been really in a downtrend, pretty solid downtrend since beginning of June. Put in a double top there. Okay, so all out of XPEV. Apple just got a small position left, but took a lot of it off right at that high a day. We did go through 144 on Apple. The Qs are selling off a bit.
Mm-hmm. I cut my CCL position at B here. Break even.
Right.
Might just be it for me today. We'll see if anything cool happens, but I managed to break over a goal, so we'll see what happens.
XPEV, we're just sitting right on top of what is this? Yesterday's low of day right now. Here we go. Maybe break down some more. SPY is looking a little toppy. AMD's been a bit of a disappointment. Not much happened there except a lot of chop. Yeah, the CCL looks like it's either going to find a support here and bounce, or it's going to flush, because this is sort of pre-market. This area was a pre-market low. And there we go. Apple still popping here.
All right, you called it. I'm short SPY. No. Took a little bit of a short here. If it squeezes back up, I'll pop out. I already got one little move down to 43.99, so not bad. So we'll see what it does. I'm in from just above the daily.
We're right around yesterday's high. So you never know.
Yeah,
Might
exactly.
continue to push, especially with interest rates dropping. The IWM's come back, so is the Dow. Funny, there's a lot of red on my screen for all these indexes that are either flat or up.
All right, I went ahead and cut SPY. So it's pushing a little bit. Sweet. Managed to steal about a half hour or about an hour out of that thing still.
Neo looks like it's either putting in a double bottom or it's going lower, which means it's either going up or down. It's right at S2.
That's funny. I cut SPY and then it just immediately dropped afterwards. Boo.
Yeah, I know, really, eh?
Darn risk management.
Yeah, I know. Here goes CCL. Oh, DTST has no love. I have to watch that one just to see if it can find some support somewhere. Wow. Seems like it's these reopening trades that are really getting kind of beat up today. Some of the, I don't know what the other cruise lines are doing. Geez, look at CCL.
There we go. I'm back short SPY from VWAP. Got a good drop there. There we go. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Go. A little more. All right, small cover here at the averages. 2 to 1-ish.
Just gonna try to play Neo to the long side. 49.50, 49.51 filled. It's a really tight stop here. See if I can get a double bottom out of this. XPEV's coming back up. Ah, yes, nice. Just sold some there. 62.
Scoot. We have days like that, man, and I don't know how Brian was just basically saying the same thing. It's like everything's up, yet everything's red.
Yeah.
Like, how does
Yeah.
that make sense?
IWM just dropped again.
What'd you get, Lee? Nice. Oh, Lee got his Neo on big time. Good job, buddy. That's pretty.
Yeah. Good one. So just still sticking with Neo here. 49.50 will be my stop now. See if we can get back up to the VWAP. Get it just 49.77. This is fair value right around here. We're banging against the 9 moving average too, so that's as you know, that's usually a resistance on a 2-minute chart. Come on, Neo. Giddy up.
SPY is struggling underneath the open price right now. If we make a low here, might be time to head towards yesterday's close back near 433.
I'm concerned if we stay here too long with Neo, we're going to get a rollover again. I'm going to take some more profits here at 65.
All right, SPY's doing a little bit of a fake breakdown here, trying to squeeze.
Yeah, well, it's going to do that for sure. You know, there's just so many people waiting to buy.
Stuffed back under the open price, though. No. I'm out of my SPY position if it breaks above VWAP. Amen. Lovely on CGC. What is that, like a 5-minute breakdown kind of deal? Oh, you lost the level. What level is that you have marked? Like a pre-market low? Whatever. Looks awesome.
Still hanging
Yeah,
in
exactly,
with Neo.
Amen.
I'm out of Neo. I'm not going to hold on. I think we got another leg lower here. Honestly. It's either that or it's going to chop around here for a while. But that 9 moving average is still acting as resistance.
What's going on with NEGG? Is that a low floater? No? It's gone nuts. Newegg. Oh, Newegg. Wow, I haven't used Newegg in such a long time. I used to buy like computer stuff off of there all the time, like a
Mhm.
decade ago.
Oh my goodness! Wow,
Oh,
and I'm
Amazon's
just
buying them out. Well, that explains that.
wow. MU really got taken to the woodshed here. Talk about a sell-off.
Hey, congrats, VPA. You got your star. You went 1 year already, man.
Time
VPA all day
flies.
anniversary.
JKS playing solar. Oh, looks like it's kind of rolling over here. Yeah, SPY coming back up. Yeah, I thought kind of it looked neat, like Neo had more downside to it. Just couldn't get above that 9 moving average. SPY's coming back up. The Qs look like they may be trying to put in double bottom here. Huh. Neo's still got some downside, I think, here. There's previous day low right there on Neo. Should have reshorted it. Dangnammit. SPY or Space is right down near yesterday's low as well here.
Cut the rest of my SPY position at VWAP. So it looks like I'm done with that. All right, I'm feeling a little crazy. Let's see what happens here. I took a half risk short on Newegg at $40. Just got a nice drop down to 38. All right, it looks like now it's going to squeeze off of that. If it goes back through 40, I'm out. Ticker on Newegg is NEGG.
NEGG. Look at Neo. Wow. XFEV. XFEVs looks like it's the next one to go here. Wow, getting a lot of selling. Qs are still green, but I don't know. Amazon, I think, is probably, and Microsoft and Apple are probably holding up the Qs because there's an awful lot of red on the screen here.
All right.
AMD, no love. No love for 100. Could be another rejection at the altar here for AMD. Trying to get to 100.
Just never going to get it. So close.
Newegg, yeah, Newegg is NEGG. That's the one you're asking about. Yeah, and it got jilted again. Look at Neo. Gosh, rejection right off that
Anytime
nine
AMD
moving
tries to get
average.
above 95, it just gets
Yeah.
brutalized.
Wow, a lot of selling here, guys and gals. A lot of heavy selling right now. I think the SPY is gonna
Ah, come on,
go too
SPY.
here.
Took me out my stop on my partial, because I partialed at 2-1. My stop for my entry was just above VWAP, like 433.81 or something like that, which is to the penny. Came out and took me out, and now the thing's selling off. That's super rude, SPY.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think. What else? Yeah, everything is getting beat up today here. Wow. Yeah, IWM is really taking a hit here now.
All right, I cut my
Tried to
NEG position at break even.
rally at the open.
Actually, a little better than break even. The level 2 looks a little too bullish.
Well, I'm looking for a bounce here. I think we're going to get a bounce on a lot of this stuff. After that, after those couple of candles selling off, should get a bit of a bounce here. I don't think these indexes are going to drop without a fight.
Space in an interesting spot right now.
Yeah,
Just made a new 5-minute high above these 2 daily levels here.
Yeah,
Bid really stepped up here. About 250,000 shares came through.
yeah. I was looking at space. We're right at the 9 moving average on the 2-minute chart, which is usually an area get a rejection from. XPEV continues to leak. Crows are going wild here outside my window. I don't know if that's a good thing. Yeah, look at it. Look at the end egg.
Yeah, it is just ripping.
Yeah.
It actually has a halt level near 43.74 right now.
I didn't miss that one. Wow, it's jumping all over the place. So what's the news on them? They were getting bought out by.
Amazon.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Yeah, space is definitely looking like it's trying to find a bottom here. Whereas Neo and XPEV haven't found a bottom yet. Neither is CCL. Wow.
Well, Brian,
Yeah, I
I think I'm gonna
completely
cut it,
missed
man.
out on NA. Okay. All right, man. Well,
I'm not seeing
always
anything else
fun.
I'm into, and I'm over goal. So I think the groggy is actually starting to catch me a little bit. So I think I'm going to cut it, go take a little nap before my 1 o'clock time.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I hope everyone had a good trade sesh. I'll talk to everybody a little later. Brian, always fun
Dorothy.
trading with the
Yeah,
profit of
yeah,
profit. You know.
yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for dropping in, especially not after a night without too much sleep. So appreciate it. Always fun trading
Yeah,
with
no
you.
worries, all good. I think the boss is
Yeah,
getting his Peru on or something for a few days, so I'm sure I'll be on off and on this week. So
yeah.
we'll look forward to
Okay.
more money
Sounds,
with the
yeah,
profit
for
of
sure.
profit.
All right. Sounds
All right,
good.
talk to you later, y'all.
All right. Cheers. Cheers, Thor. Thanks for coming on here, bud. Look at that space here. It is trying to make a move. So might take a long here. Just I'm gonna take a long. Yep. 33, 44, 33. Let's see what we can squeeze out of this here. We've got the 20 moving average is around 44.70. So if we can get through this 9 moving average, which is sort of flattening out here, the SPY's coming back up, so are the Qs. Just keeping the trade size small now because this is a less profitable time for me, so I don't have anywhere near the same size. We looking for it to hold 44 on space. CCL's kind of bouncing back here now a bit. Okay, looking for, I'll take some off at 50 if we can get to space, 44.50. So, all right, sold some there, 44.51. So looking for looking for 70, 44.70 next. On CCL, or on space, I should say. SPY and the Qs have come back up a bit. Come on, space, do something. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. An egg was halted. Okay, I'm going to take some more space off here because this 20 moving average came down. I should be playing an egg. Look at this thing go. It's probably going to go to 50. Whoa. Yeah, big drop. One big egg there. It's that's the dangers of playing this kind of late in the cycle. It's pulling back to the 9 right now. 9 moving average right at 43, sort of 30 level. Could bounce off here. So bounced right off the 9, this new egg on the 2-minute chart. It's pretty much been using the 9 moving average as support all the way up here. It bounced off it right at 9:55, and then another bounce off it at 10:04, and then this latest bounce right off it at right now. So all right, well, I'm out of the rest of space at break even on the rest. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just again another reminder, guys. Because I'm using this vmix. Usually, if my name gets mentioned in the room, I get a ding to look over at the chat. I get dinged, but because we're using this vmix, I don't hear that. So if I don't happen to respond to your question or your or comment, it's not. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just not catching some of the conversation. Whoa. So Neil is just Neil in space, kind of just rolled over. Wow. Yeah, it looks like an egg is gonna get halted here. They're trying to keep it from halting. I think it's going to halt regardless. Oh, maybe not. No, didn't halt it. They were really trying to keep it from halting a couple times here. Maybe it's going to get halted this time. I don't think it was. It has something to do with yeah, they got halted again. It had something to do with being bought out. But I don't understand if they're being bought out. Usually there's a price associated with, the buyout if it's been announced. So I don't know. It's not a buyout. Okay. See what says on Benzinga. The Newegg, one of the leading tech-focused e-retailers, it now offers professional PC assembly to customers who design their own computers. Okay. Building custom computers for maximum gaming performance. I suppose that's a reason to go up all out, to go crazy. I don't know what the exactly. They're just saying they can do it better than some of their customers. So I guess I don't get whatever. That's where everyone's playing today. Kind of regret missing out on that one. VXRT was another one that kept popping up here. It must have. Wow, that's an interesting chart. Nice double top there. Peter could have played that for a mountain pass on VXRT. Yeah, we talked about CCL really trying to hold 24. It's it's been a level. It's bounced off a number of times. I know Carlos was talking about that in the pre-market. We're really when I'm looking at CCL, it's really fighting to hold on to that level, that 24 level. But again, it's just it just can't get above this 9 moving average on the 2-minute chart. It just keeps banging its head on there. Yeah, next level, if we lose this sort of 24 level, next level is going to be the 200, probably the 200 the 200-day moving average, which is around 2280. Neo and XPEV just rolling over. Gosh, look at that. Billy's down a lot. Whew. Amazon still hanging in there. Microsoft, Apple. Again, those three stocks. Facebook's up. Yeah, those three stocks, Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple, I'm sure are holding up the SPY, the Qs, because everything else, almost everything else is like is a red on the screen here. So NAG is open again. Just did a bit of a scalp there. Can't miss out on this. Can't say I didn't play it. Again, they're trying to keep it from halting. Yeah, look at that. SPY just took a tumble. Q's just rolling over again here. Wow. TZA is popping up here. The egg is halted again. Wow, TLT keeps popping up on the screen. I've got a feeling where interest rates are still dropping here. You know, when in a call, nice, Corey. It's funny. Yeah, Amazon's at an all-time high. What's the oh yeah, you see NAG is a low float too. I didn't know that. It was 3.1 million shares. Volume's been 18 million, so we've traded the float at least 6 times. Yeah, Emran and Blinn have been really taking a kicking. Wow, look at AMD. AMD is dropping like a stone. Probably MU, same thing. DLT pop is still going higher here. Wow. Maybe Neo and XPEV are going to catch a bid here. Looks like they're trying to put in a bottom. Space looks like it's made a bit of a higher low here. Now we're opened up again. It's at, this thing's going to 100, I think. Yeah, I think so, Light. I mean, it looks like it's, they're going to try to push it. It's going to halt again here. Yeah, I know. It's going to halt again. I'm really fighting not to go back in it again. To have some discipline, I guess. Big time FOMO in that trade. I'm just going to give me a second here. I guess I'll transition over to back to the chat room.